but the people of Wisconsin create 250,000 new jobs by 2015. It's a commitment I made in the campaign the first time. It's a commitment I make today. And by 2015, with your help, it's a commitment we'll see fulfilled for the betterment of all the people of Wisconsin. You see, we built the foundation for success. I was reminded of that last night. Last night I was over, like many of you, in the hallowed ground of Lambeau Field. And as we walked in, I walked past 4 great trophies. 4 trophies named after one of the, not only Green Bay or Wisconsin's greatest heroes, but America's greatest heroes, Coach Vince Lombardi. People think about him and they think about success. But people often forget. And the year before Vince Lombardi took over the Green Bay Packers, the Packers were 1-10-1. And he didn't take them to the World Championship that very first year. What he did was build the foundation for success, and several years later, the Packers not only won the World Championship, they won the first of many more World Championships. We're going to bring it home and win the championship for the hard-working taxpayers of Wisconsin when we create 250,000 more jobs in this state. The statewide Chamber of Commerce did a survey of employers. You know how many thought we were heading the right direction? A mere 10%. 10% of our employers thought Wisconsin was heading the right direction. That same survey was conducted earlier this year. Earlier this year in 2012, you know how many employers now think Wisconsin's heading the right direction? 94% say we're heading the right direction. Now, of course, I'm competitive. I want to know what's wrong with the other 6%, right? We need to convince them too as well, but it's a great sign that things are improving. We're heading in the right direction. We're moving the state forward. And it's not just in that survey. Another one just a couple of weeks ago said that 87% of those surveyed, those employers across the state say they plan on adding more jobs in 2012. Alberta just talked about or made reference to the new revenue estimates that just came out. And you know, one of the most interesting things in the Economist report on those revenue estimates was the fact that they said the reason for that was 2 things. Increased growth in personal income, which is good for all of us and our families, and most importantly, higher than projected estimates when it comes to job growth in 2011. I believe when those final job numbers come out this week, we're going to see a significant gain in the number of jobs created in the last year because we built the foundation for success in this state. We saw it this last week as well. You know, every year there's rankings that come out of the best and the worst states to do business in. For many years in Wisconsin, we didn't like talking about those. Why? Because we were in the bottom 10. The year before I took office, we were 41. The year before that, we were 43. Last year, after our forums had a chance to set in, we went from 41 up 17 spots to number 24. And this year, last week, the survey came out, and we now rank in the top 20 for the first time. You build a foundation to move our state forward. But you know what? In the report on that survey, in the surveys conducted earlier this year, you know what the number 1 concern was listed in terms of things that will prevent them from adding more jobs in the coming year? It's the recalls. It's the recalls, because you see, employers, small business and other employers alike understand what I've heard anecdotally around the state from my visits to hundreds, if not thousands, of small businesses has been codified in those reports. It's that they're worried. They like where we're headed. They're feeling good about adding more jobs in the state, but they're worried that something might happen on June 5th that instead of moving us forward, would move us backwards. And I can understand why. If you look at the record of the mayor of Milwaukee, you look at his record in the 8 years he's been in office, Taxes and fees in that city have gone up 43%, and unemployment has gone up 28%. That's not a way to take your community forward. That's a way to take Wisconsin backwards. Milwaukee is now one of the top 10 poorest cities in the country. That's not the way to move us forward. That's the way to move us backwards. And if you listen to what the mayor said when he talked during this primary election to special interest group forums from across the state, he outlined an agenda that would raise taxes on manufacturers, on agricultural-based interests, on small businesses, and on property taxpayers. That's not a way to take Wisconsin forward.